Today is what you would call an exception to the rule, which is there's an ATM that is very close to home that I normally utilize, which was kind of not functioning properly today, so I came to the next best ATM, which is in downtown Hoi An. I'll be leaving shortly. Those of you that have followed me, I don't really have a YouTube channel. I don't really try to develop a YouTube channel. I don't actively try to increase the number of subscribers or views or clicks or whatever. This is more like a 50%. I don't know. No, I shouldn't say 50%. That would be not truthful. 90% of the vlogs I do are just personal thoughts, a lot of venting. I use this as a sounding board. Now, you're aware, if you aren't, most of you are, if you aren't, I live out in the country where it's very quiet and very peaceful, and the only traffic around our house is the occasional chicken or dog that strolls by. Quiet, peaceful, serene. Now we're coming up on 2 years in the new house outside of Hoi An and Da Nang. But for 4 years, we did rent a home in Hoi An. It was a nice little spot. It was one of the quieter spots you could kind of sort of get. And we were there during actually kind of just after COVID. Would that have been 2020, 2021, something like that. And when they reopened Hoi An and the nation of Vietnam back to tourism after COVID, I quickly noticed that it was getting a little too busy, a little too crazy, a little too loud, a little too stupid. So that motivated us to go outside of the chaos and the insanity, find a beautiful piece of land and build a villa. And we've never looked back and we've never regretted it. It's absolutely fantastic. So coming down here, I have done so once before a couple weeks ago to use the ATM. And again today. And the last time I came down here to use the ATM, I grabbed what I needed and I got the hell out of here and back home. Today I took a moment to come down here, eat a little half of a banh mi for breakfast that my wife made for me this morning, and also to just chill and get a little drink and relax for a minute. And part of me was curious as to the old haunt, at least a little partial piece of it, to see if anything had changed. Nothing has really changed down here. I don't see any major improvements. I don't see anything like, whoa, this place sure has changed. Of course, it's filled with what I despise, which is Western foreign tourists. And it's just horrifying once again to come down here and see these jagoffs, these absolute clowns down here. The picture for me that I get coming down here is to look at after several years of being out of America, to come down here and get a picture of what Western society looks like today. And it ain't pretty. I'll be leaving shortly, and the reason why I'll be doing so is because after being away from the noise and chaos for so long, I'm actually very nervous. I'm actually shaking, and I know this is going to sound a little over-exaggerated and a little dramatic, but I feel physically ill coming down here, which is why I don't. Which is why I would only come down here unless I absolutely had to. I get physically ill now when I come down here because the tourists, the Westerners that are down here, make me feel that way. Now, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, I have grown to despise Westerners. They're just the worst people in the world. The way Western society has morphed and changed, it's just people now from the West are ugly physically, they're ugly in character, they're ugly spiritually, they're ugly in the way that they conduct themselves. They're completely disgusting people, and I quite frankly hate them. And I can't emphasize that strongly enough. I hate them. So you would say, well, yeah, you need to get the hell out of there, and I'm getting ready to do so. But I thought I'd do a vlog, and since I haven't been here in so long, in almost 2 years, I thought I'd stop. It's the craziness that also contributes to my feeling right now, my uneasy feeling, because I'm not used to this kind of traffic and activity and craziness, and to be in the center of it here for a moment to do a vlog is really an interesting experience. Not a good one, but one that I wanted to feel once again and remind myself of. What I talked about when it came to Hoi An and tourism years ago when we were motivated to get out is just how crazy and stupid it got in terms of the people, in terms of the chaos, in terms of the craziness that had taken place out here, not just amongst the massive numbers of tourists, but the amount of change that occurred within the mindset of the local Vietnamese people in Hoi An. That mindset changed and switched over to a giant money grab and all of the busyness and insanity and sickness that comes with that. So these local Vietnamese people are only thinking about one thing and one thing only, and that is money. How to get it, how to get more of it, what to do to get it, and on and on. And so they've gone batshit crazy in terms of trying to get their hooks into the tourist dollar, and as much of it as they can, as quickly as they can, and as much as they can, and for as long as they can. And so it's changed the feel of ancient town Hoi An, which was once a sleepy little golden village, into a madhouse. And I'm giving you a perspective from somebody that's been out here for several years and experienced both sides of it. Now, I've lived amongst it, in the past, and now I've lived outside of it. So I've been inside and outside, and the inside part of it sickens me that Vietnam has gone and ruined itself for tourism money. So when I see the local people out here, it's like they don't even register to me as authentic, because I know to the last man, woman, and child, they're trying to get money. And everything they do, their entire purpose in life is to do that. So I don't find them to be anyone I want to be around. Also, the people in the village that I live in, the farmers and the normal, authentic, non-tourist related people that I know out there, those are the authentic, that's the authentic Vietnam, that's the authentic experience. Here, there's none of that. All these cars, all these 7-seater SUVs that you see roaming around here, these are all not people going about their day-to-day business. These are all tourism transportation vehicles. You've got some cab drivers and some Grab drivers stationed right out here. And they hawk. They're hawkers now, so they'll hawk out to the tourist. Taxi. Like that. Look at this. So this is the kind of bullshit you're getting out here now. Just behold. Just feast your eyes on this. So yeah, I don't think I could come up with a finer example of the kind of shit, garbage people that are coming out to Vietnam now. It's just a smorgasbord of losers. Fucking losers. This is what you got walking around the country of Vietnam now. Look at that fucking disgusting. You tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I don't know what I'm talking about. Look at this orange doofus. Now you look at people like that and you don't say anything like, wow, they must have a good job and they must be a person of fine character, making decent money and very well employed and vacationing in Vietnam in a proper manner to experience a new culture. About bullshit. It's a bunch of fucking lame ass sickos that are coming out here to walk around and try to live here, some of them, cheaply. Because as you can see, they're total degenerates who probably would be homeless back in America or Europe. And it doesn't matter if they look like that fucking idiot or if they look clean cut and normal. They're all brokies. They're all low rent, low budget losers who can't afford to live in the West any longer. So they're coming out here out of desperation as economic refugees because they cannot afford to have even a lower middle class lifestyle in America or Europe. But they can bring their bum asses out here, and honestly, half the time I don't even know how they're surviving. A lot of the Western men look like emasculated simp cucks. They don't look like strong. Here's an example right here. They don't look like strong men, you know, the kind that, you know, you could say, wow, they can really handle themselves. You know, here's a couple of dumpy little, look at him. He's like a dumpy fat ass. There's no looking at a man like that and saying, wow, that dude's got himself well put together, you know? Can't say that. And that's the majority of the men out here, the Western men out here, the Euros and the Americans. It's just horrifying. Now look at this one. This is a transgender right here. That's a big hulking fucking male with breasts and long hair. That's disgusting. That's what's walking around Vietnam. Look at this. Look at this. More female than male. It's horrifying. So, there you go. I'm getting sick to my stomach, as I often and always do when I'm out here. It's just horrible, and you wonder why. No, you shouldn't wonder why I left Hoi An. This is why. I can't stand to see these bozos, these absolute losers around. I can't have them around me. I can't have them near me on a day-to-day basis. So I had to get away from them. A lot of man bun wearing simps out here. Hopefully you get it. Hopefully you understand my point of view, where I'm going with this. It's just horrifying. These poor Vietnamese people, as you can see, many of them right here, have been sold down the river into tourism. Completely sold down the river by tourism. They've lost themselves in the cities. Hoi An, Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, Vũng Tau, you name it. If it's a city that caters to tourists and tourism, the Vietnamese people have lost themselves. Absolutely horrifying. I gotta go because I don't want to get too ill, and I mean that seriously. So there you go, folks. This is the shit show of Western tourism in Vietnam. It's just absolutely disgusting. And I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Peace.